How do you know if a ghost is trying to contact you? Well, you may notice something unusual. A rapping sound, a cold chill in a certain room, lights that go on and off. Ghosts use electronics, and they've been known to use radio or television or to show up in still photos. Sometimes you can see them, you can hear them and touch them, and other times they may be transparent or just a blur or a spot of light. Sometimes they use the telephone. Keep your eyes and ears open, and if you feel a tap on your shoulder, or if someone takes control of your car or your tape recorder, just be prepared to meet a nice ghost. Most ghost stories are nice. Most ghosts seem to be helpful. Don't be afraid yet. If you remember nothing else you hear today, remember this. Never, never pick up a hitchhiker near a cemetery. Those who thumb rides from the graveyard might be heading toward a dead end. For example, near Andersonville, Georgia, 1 mile south of Route 228 West, is Andersonville National Cemetery. A Civil War soldier in military attire of the mid-1800s tries to get a ride to summon aid for his regiment. If a car stops to pick him up, he disappears. In Chicago, the story is often told of a young girl named Mary who hitchhikes on city streets asking gentlemen to take her dancing. She wears a fancy, though out-of-style party dress and patent leather shoes. After she's gone dancing, she asks to be driven to her place on Archer Avenue. She jumps from the car and disappears on Archer Avenue at Graceland Cemetery. A graveyard in Fayette County, Alabama, has an unusual ghostly image. At Musgrove Cemetery is the grave of Robert Musgrove, a former railroad engineer. His girlfriend Maud went to his funeral after he was killed in a train wreck. She promised she would never leave him. She kept her promise. After she died in 1962, her silhouette appeared on the gravestone of Robert Musgrove. The silhouette was identified by those who had seen her kneeling at Robert's graveside when she was alive. It was Maud. The kneeling silhouette was washed away. Then it was washed away again. And it was washed away again. Then it was sandblasted away from the stone. Twice. If you want to see the silhouette, stop by. It's still there. North of Birmingham, turn on Route 43 to Musgrove Cemetery. Remember, you can't wash a ghost away. Remember, you can't sandblast a ghost away. And remember, never, never pick up a hitchhiker near a cemetery. George Patton listened to ghosts early in his life. His departed ancestors guided him and instructed him on how to live up to their standards set in more Puritan times. Not just his living family members, but the ghosts that he spoke to and talked openly about were sealing his spirit and his fate to become the best soldier of all time. He communicated with Napoleon, Hannibal, and even Julius Caesar. He was aware that he could never be harmed in a battle, but he also knew he could not live beyond the war. He was here to single-handedly, if necessary, win World War II by the quickest possible means. Then he knew he would die and join the great army of history. He moved his troops so quickly during his European attacks that as he chased the Nazis back to Germany, his tanks actually outran the supply troops' ability to keep up with him. His gasoline was flown to his position to refuel his army. He was only halted by orders from his commanding officer, who told him, "George, you're going too fast. Wait up." George Patton asked Caesar and Hannibal and Napoleon what to do at various times during the Second World War. Always their advice was to move forward, never fear they would keep him from harm. But they warned him in dreams they could not protect him when there was no battle. Patton succeeded as the most aggressive soldier in the history of the United States, but his war came to an end in Germany in 1945. And a few months later, George Patton died in an automobile accident in Germany in 1945. Perhaps George Patton's ghost will guide some future military leader. It was December of 1878, and the chapel of Our Lady of Light was almost complete. The builders had worked hard to finish the structure before the snows that might cover the ground at Christmas time. It was a beautiful building, and it would be a great gathering spot for the Christmas celebration. There was one problem, however, that seemed to be unsolvable. There was no staircase leading from the main floor to the choir loft. Somehow the blueprint had not left any room for a staircase, and the choir loft was built with no possible entry. The Mother Superior was leaving the convent on that cool morning as a carpenter arrived. He had heard of the problem of the staircase, and he offered to help. The Mother Superior left instructions for the carpenter to be fed and thanked for his kindness, but there was nothing anyone could do. Several carpenters had looked at the building and had decided there is no way to build a staircase to the loft. The plans left no room for the construction. Mother Superior left on her journey to Santo Domingo Pueblo, where an outbreak of cholera required her attention. Manuela showed the carpenter where the choir loft was. Manuela could not speak, but she could understand what people said. As Mother Magdalene was leaving, she saw the carpenter's burro and small wagon with a few simple tools. The other carpenters had larger wagons and more tools and could not build a staircase. What could one man with so few tools and so little wood possibly do? Mother Magdalene had wanted to have a delightful Christmas celebration for everyone in the area with a choir singing the favorite carols. When Mother Magdalene arrived at Santo Domingo, she found that the disease that was causing the problem was not cholera, but measles. A measles outbreak in 1878 was a very serious situation and would require all of Mother Magdalene's nursing abilities. Mother Magdalene forgot about the staircase. In a few weeks, the illness subsided and it began to snow. Mother Magdalene knew she must return to the convent right away. Late on Christmas Eve, she arrived at the convent very tired from the long wagon ride. When she arrived, Manuela ran out to greet her and began tugging at the sleeve of her robe. She was taken into the main room of the chapel. There, to her amazement, she saw the staircase. She could not believe her eyes. The staircase was of a spiral design unlike any she had ever seen. The wood was also unlike any wood that grew anywhere near Santa Fe. Mother Magdalene climbed the stairs. She counted the steps, 31, 32, 33. Why, that's one step for each year of our Lord's life, she thought. Who made this beautiful staircase, she asked. Manuela spoke the first word she had ever said. Jose. Jose, that's Spanish for Joseph. The choir was able to sing the carols at the Christmas celebration. To this day, no one has been able to duplicate or even understand the construction of the staircase. No nails were used, only wooden pegs. It is perfectly spliced together and made from a type of wood that is not found near Santa Fe. The carpenter did not accept any pay. And if you want to see the staircase, when you visit Santa Fe, New Mexico, ask for the Chapel of Our Lady of Light.